All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget I post 1, 2, or 3 videos every single day. We got a lot to talk about today between this article, that article, some of these kind of things that we're seeing on here. So we're going to cover a lot. First one, I found this interesting. Gen Z college grads expect to earn more than $100,000 at their first job. Their actual paycheck is a rude awakening. So you figure if people go to school, they graduate at 18 today, they put 4 years in, it puts them out there 22, 23 years old, out in the job world. They are expecting, just because they went to college, that they expect to make $100,000 a year at their first job. And it's a rude awakening. I find that pretty interesting. You can take away with it what you want, but it's pretty interesting. Rising graduates expect a starting salary of approximately $100,000. They just throw that number out. Well, I expect to make $100,000. I have six figures. According to a recent study from ZipRecruiter, which surveyed around 3,000 young people in the United States, but their annual take-home pay right out of undergrad ends up being closer to $68,000. $68,000 for somebody right out of college is a pretty dang good amount of money today, as far as I'm concerned. You are a 20-something-year-old with zero life experience. Let me rephrase that. You are a 20-something-year-old with zero life experience. My opinion, $68,000 a year, that's pretty dang good starting pay right there. $100,000, very few. Just the fact that you assume that you should get that kind of blows my mind. But to each your own. Everybody has their own. About 42% of recent graduates reported that they couldn't secure the pay they wanted. Okay, that's almost half. While 31% were able to negotiate a higher salary than one initially offered, only 18% of workers said their starting salary exceeded their expectations. Well, of course, if your expectations are $100,000 a year to come out as soon as you get out of college, and it be your first real job, and you expect $100,000 right out of the gate, pretty crazy. I found this pretty interesting. Says also here, about 20% of those looking for work have been out on the hunt for at least 10 to 12 months or longer. This is college graduates. But I love this. This is true. This is the stuff you hear at colleges today right here. All hope is not lost for new grads, and there are still ways to get ahead. The report notes that most useful skills in navigating today's job market are preparation, flexibility, and perspective. So as long as you have that, as long as you have those things, you're getting $100,000. So there you go. That's what they're telling you. So here you go. Take it for what it's worth. I found it very interesting article. Moving on from here. This one here kind of hit me like, oh, really? It's like that? And then I went ahead and I looked at the rest for you, and it's interesting. So the 2024 Toyota Tacoma crew cab rated marginal in the IHS updated moderate overlap crash test. They made this new testing where it's updated last year, and they have to pass this thing. And anyway, the new Tacoma overall test elevation M for moderate. Back in May of 2024, the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety announced that the redesigned Tacoma in crew cab flavor qualifies for a top safety pick award. The mid-size pickup truck Turbo 4 muscle earned hood rating in all crashworthiness tests, including the original moderate overlap front crash test. Nearly a year later, the nonprofit organization finally published the results of the updated moderate overlap test. I don't know what the difference was, but it used to be one way, now it's tested another. As you can see from the attached video, the segment's favorite midsizer leaves much to be desired. Rather than a good or acceptable, it was deemed marginal due to the lap belt that had moved from the ideal position on the dummy's pelvis onto the abdomen. So the truck actually did pretty good, but it was the seatbelt position that could cause injury to the driver. This is important because if you own one of these or you're thinking about buying one, it's important that you know this stuff. And then we're going to go into the other ones in a second. It says the Virginia-based institute could not rule out a risk of abdominal injuries. The sensors also indicated moderate risk of injury to the chest. On the upside, the IIHS further reports low risk of injury to the head or neck for the rear passenger. So that's good. The website clearly states that the said rating applies to the 2021 model as well. So it's not just 2024. 2025 is the same. And as for the picture of Tacoma, you will look at the 2024 model SR5 is the largest cab available, four-wheel drive, blah, blah, blah. It also said the 4th gen Tacoma could not do better than acceptable in terms of headlight performance and latch ease of use. All trims available for 24 and 25 feature projector type LED and high beam assistance. Although the low beams never exceeded glare limits, both the low and high beams offered inadequate visibility in certain scenarios. The high beam assistance system compensates for some low beam limitations. As for the latches for the child seat anchors, IHS wasn't impressed by how hard to find the locations of all 3 second row tethered anchors. So there you go. That's pretty interesting. But so, all right, so we know that it didn't do so good. On this, got an M for, what did they say? Marginal. Marginal is what M stood for. So there's nothing else giving us anything else in this way to go find out anything else. So I went ahead and found it on IHS, and I pulled them up. So here we go. Let's start out with the Chevy Colorado. They don't offer a 2022 is the last one they got. So it's kind of irrelevant because we don't have the new one. It also, though, in 2022 got a margin with the updated test, got marginal. Same thing. We do not get the option for it. Does not go higher than 2022. See? So we don't have the option for what the new one has done. They have not tested it yet. Ford only goes to 2023. We do not get the option to go any higher for Ford either. How did Ford do on that updated one? P is worse than marginal. Marginal is M. P is poor. Poor is bad. I'm poor. Poor sucks. Okay, so when you think about it, that's the reality here. So far, looks like the Tacoma's doing pretty good. We haven't rated the new Colorado, and it's doing better than, well, this is the old Ranger, because we don't have the new Ranger yet either. What about a Nissan Frontier? Here's the Frontier 2024 we do have. So if we look at the 2024, moderate overlap frontal updated test, G. Good. It got good on the first one, and it got a G for good on this one as well. So very nice. It did get a acceptable for headlights, and P for poor, again, varies by trim and option. So there you go for headlights on there, but the Frontier did good on the frontal crash system. And the next one on here, the Ridgeline, 2025 Ridgeline, moderate overlap original test. It has not been updated, but it's got a good. We do not have an update on the new 2025 one, and even the 2024 gives us the same exact information. There's no change there, so we don't have the updated test. And the Jeep Gladiator 2023 has it, and it does have the updated one, and it got a good on the first one, as many have, so we don't know. Honda could go down. A lot of these get good on the first one here and then poor there, so that new test is much more stringent. We don't, here it got a moderate, just like the Toyota Tacoma did. So things that you got to take into consideration is whatever this new overlap test is, it is getting pretty complicated for a lot of vehicles to make it with whatever they've changed and however they're doing it on there. So you can see it right here. What blows my mind is look at how, man, look at them rake these wheels in. All of them. Same thing with the Toyota here. You can see if we go through their pictures on here, you can see this thing getting hit. Watch this thing go through. There it is heading in. Look at it hit. Look at that. Take that hit on that front wheel. Man, oh man. You know how well that goes. Look at how deep that tucks into there. Into that cab. How far back that is. So you can see as things are, like I said, whatever this new testing feature is, it's kicking the crap out of a lot of these vehicles. So, this article made it sound like Toyota was not good at all. Well, the Tacoma's doing just as good as everything else is, if not better. So pretty interesting. That's what I saw on it. Anyway, what's your thoughts, takeaway on it? Between that or the Gen Z college stuff, 100 grand. You think 21, 22-year-olds, as soon as they jumped out of college, never worked really much in their life except maybe a job at Burger King or something, and automatically, just because they got a piece of paper, they get 100 grand right off the bat. That's what they're expecting. Let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching.